Hello and welcome to my channel. I am going to do Exp22 Excel chapter 10 hands-on exercise commodities. I will do this assignment step by step. I will solve each and every step in this video and you can get your assignment done by watching this video. If you want me to do your assignment, if you want me to do your complete course, just contact me on WhatsApp or email that you can see in the description. Also, my WhatsApp and email is showing at the bottom of this screen. You can hire me for your complete course including Excel assignment, Access assignments, PowerPoint assignments, as well as Word assignments. You can hire me for your other courses like accounting, management, finance, information technology, and all writing assignment as well. So let's start this assignment and solve this assignment step by step. So first step of the assignment is to download the Excel sheet, that is Exp22 Excel chapter 10 hands-on exercise commodities. I have already downloaded this. This is the Excel sheet where we are supposed to apply all the steps, where we are supposed to solve each and every step, and then we will make this assignment in the final form and this assignment will be ready to submit. So let's move to step number 2. Step number 2 is use get and transform Power Query to import the Ch10 H1 client /info_info.csv, load the data, rename the newly created worksheet clients. So basically we are supposed to use the get and transform function to import this data and then we will rename the worksheet as clients. So let's go to our Excel sheet. Now we are supposed to import the data. For this we will click on the data tab, and after clicking on the data tab, click on get data, and we are supposed to import the data from CSV file. So we will select from CSV. So we are supposed to get the data from Ch10 H1 client _info. So we will select this one. So now we are supposed to load this data. So we have imported this data and then we are supposed to rename the newly created worksheet clients. So now we will rename this sheet as clients. So our step number 2 is completed. Let's move to next step, that is step number 3. Step number 3 is use get and transform Power Query to import the transaction table from Ch10 H1 transaction database, load the data to a new worksheet. So now we are supposed to use the database to import the transaction table from the database, and for this we will use the get and transform Power Query again. Let's do this step now. So again we will go to the data tab. After going to the data tab, we will click on get data, and now we are supposed to import the data from database. So we will click on from database, and now we will select from Microsoft Access database. So we are supposed to import the data from Ch10 H1 transaction database. So this is the database from where we are supposed to import the table. So we will select this one and we will click on import. So we are supposed to import the transaction table only. So select this transaction table, and after selecting this, click OK, and this table will be imported. And after that, we are supposed to load the data to new worksheet. I have already loaded this one. So that was step number 3, and step number 3 is completed. Let's move to next step, that is step number 4. So step number 4 is it is saying that the database table you imported contains data that was incorrectly formatted. You will use the Power Query editor to reformat the data. In addition, a co-worker created a list of broker contact information as a tab delimited file in Notepad. You will use Power Query editor to shape the data by splitting the columns and providing the unique data labels before importing to it. So now basically we are supposed to edit the data in the Power Query editor, and it is saying that use the Power Query editor to change the data type of the date file in the transaction query from date time to date format, and the purchase price and the selling price field to currency. So basically we are supposed to edit the transaction table query, and we will change the data type of the date field in the transaction query from date time to date format, and purchase and selling price field to currency. So let's go to our Excel sheet. Now we are supposed to edit this transaction query. So this is transaction query, and now we will click on query. After clicking on query, click on edit. So we are supposed to change the data type of the date, and we are supposed to change the data type from date time to date format. So it is already in date time, so we are supposed to change it to date format. So we can change the data type from here, data type date format. So we will change it to date format only. So now you can see only date in date column. Before this, it was showing date and time as well, because it was formatted as date and time. So next thing to do is the purchase price and selling price field to currency. So now we will change the purchase price and the selling price to the currency. So this one is the purchase price. We will change the data type of the purchase price. Data type is decimal number, so we are supposed to make it currency. So it is formatted as currency now. Also we will change the data type of the selling price to the currency. So we have changed the data type of the selling price to currency. We have changed the data type of the purchase price to currency, and we have changed the data type of date to the date as well. So we are done with this one. After this, it is saying that use transform of Power Query to load probe. OK. So we are done with this one. So after that, we will click on close and load. So that is done. Next thing is use get and transform Power Query to load Ch10 H1 broker underscore info.txt file in the Power Query editor. Use tab as a delimiter. Split the name column using the space as the delimiter. Splitting the column at the leftmost occurrence. Rename the newly split column name 1 and name 2 as first and last name respectively. So basically, now we are supposed to import this and load this one, and we will use the tab as the delimiter for the importing. Then we will split the name column using the space as the delimiter, and we will split at the leftmost occurrence of the delimiter. Then we will rename the column. So let's go to the sheet, click on the data tab. After clicking on the data tab, click on get data, and we are supposed to get the data from text file. So we will select this text file, that is E10 H1 broker _info. After selecting this, now we are supposed to use the tab as the delimiter that is given here. You can see that use tab as the delimiter. So we will select the tab for importing this and click load. So we have loaded this, and now we will edit this in the Power Query editor. So let's go to the query. After going to the query, click on edit. So we are supposed to split column name using the space as the delimiter as at the leftmost occurrence. So we will select this name column and then click on split columns and click on by delimiter. So we are supposed to use the space as the delimiter and split at leftmost occurrence of the delimiter. So we will select leftmost occurrence of the delimiter from here, and then we will click OK. So you can see that the name column have been splitted into two columns, that is name 1 and name 2. Now we are supposed to rename these columns as the first and the last respectively. So let's go to this one and rename this one as first. First. And rename this as the last. That is all about this one, and now we will load and close it. So close and load. So you can see that we have first and last column here because we splitted the name column into two columns. So that is all about step number 4, and now we will move to next step, that is step number 5. So step number 5 is split the city state column using the comma as delimiter. So now we are supposed to split the city and state, this one, using the comma as the delimiter. Use Power Query to trim the excess space of the newly created city state 2 column. Split the city state 2 column using the space as the delimiter, then click or press the X located to the left of the step change type 3 in the applied step box located in the query setting pane. So let's do this first part of the step. So now we are supposed to separate the city and the state column using the comma as delimiter. So again go to the Power Query editor. So we will click on edit. And now we are supposed to split the city and state, this one, using the comma as a delimiter. So now we are supposed to use the comma. So now you can see that this has been split into city, state 1 and city, state 2. So after that it is saying that use the Power Query to trim the excess space of the newly created city state 2 column. This one, using space as the delimiter. So this is city state 2 column and we are supposed to trim this one. So click format and click trim. So this will be trimmed. So I have trimmed this one and you can see that this is trimmed, this one. So that was the next thing to do, and after that it is saying that split the city state 2 column using the space as the delimiter. So now we are supposed to again split this and we will use the space as a delimiter. So this has been trimmed. So now it is saying that then click or press the cross located to the left of the step change type 3 in the applied step box located in the query setting pane. So this is the query setting pane and we are supposed to click on this cross, that is change type 3, that is mentioned here, change type 3. So we will click on this one. So we have done this setting. So after that it is saying that rename the city state 1 column city. So city state 1 column, this is the city state 1 column. We will rename this one as the city. So this has been renamed. After that is saying that the city state 2.1 column state. So this one it should be state. And after that the last one is the city state 2.2 column zip code. This one city state 2, it should be zip code, this one. So I will simply copy this one and rename this one and press enter. So this has been renamed. Now close and load the transform data and rename the worksheet brokers. So now we will load and close this one. Close and load this one. So now you can see that we have a city column, state column, zip code column, first name and last name. That was all the requirement in step number 5. And now we will rename the sheet as the brokers. So make it brokers. So we are done with step number 5. So I have shown you 5 steps of this assignment. This assignment basically have 10 steps. So I have shown you 5 steps and let me do the next step, that is step number 6. So step number 6 is transactional information for the quarter 4 sales are stored in a separate Access database. You will use Power Query to import the quarter 4 data as a query and then append the information from the existing transaction table. So we are supposed to use the get and transform to load the 2024 quarter 4 transaction table from this database that we have in the Power Query editor, then append the existing transaction query with the data from 2024 transaction query. So first we will import this table, that is 2024 quarter 4 transaction table, then we will append the existing transaction table with this one. After that, use the Power Query editor to change the type of the date field to the